Around 14 billion years ago, this universe was formed. Around 4.54 billion years ago, I was formed. I have been perfecting this environment since. Millions of life forms evolved and got extinct. But all the events have been occurring at a natural pace. A pace which gave me enough time to adjust. Until recently. When you arrived 66 million years ago. This is what I have given you. So divine, so pure, so peaceful is the environment that I have given you. This has not been achieved in a single day. It took a long time, a really long time. You don't understand its value, do you? Maybe because it's free of cost. Maybe because you take me for granted. To understand the insignificance of this time of 66 million years of your presence on Earth as compared to my age, let's compress the timeline into a 24-hour clock. If I was born at 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds, then you were born at 23rd hour, 58th minute and 43rd second. Your presence has just been of a few seconds. And this is what you have done in these few seconds. You have polluted my atmosphere. You have waged wars for things which are not even yours. You have burned my forests, my resources, their homes. You have polluted my waters. You are murderers. Right from the time of your existence, you have continuously been exploiting me, torturing me, choking me, killing me, day after day. Why did you do this to me? How could you do this to me? You call yourself wise man? You are not wise. Who are you? I will leave that question for you. Meanwhile, let me tell you who I am. Might even help you remember who you are. No matter how much I bleed, you don't care. You seem to be the most stubborn, selfish, and foolish living creatures to have ever evolved on me. It is my equilibrium, the balance of my resources, that makes me a unique and perfect planet to support such a diversity of creatures. This land does not belong to you. The mountains do not belong to you. The air does not belong to you. The oceans do not belong to you. The forests do not belong to you. The animals are not for you. None of my resources are for you. And this is your problem. You think only you have the right over everything. You humans don't understand. You don't want to. You are hell-bent to disturb that very equilibrium which I perfected in billions of years. You think you are the most intelligent species to have ever evolved. You think you can control everything. You think no matter what problem you create, you'll be able to resolve everything with your technology. You say you are undergoing Industrial Revolution 4.0. You are in the age of artificial intelligence, in the era of Internet of Things. Let me tell you where you are. To start with, you have absolutely no idea where you're heading. Is it the path to enlightenment or the path to destruction? Your so-called technology that you have been perfecting since the Industrial Revolution is itself based on a very wrong understanding of nature. Or should I say nature was not even in your equation when you started. All the technological advances that you say you have made over the years are dependent on the exploitation of my resources. You are nothing more than a parasite. You selfish beings just know how to take but don't care to return. All you care for is the petty things. You never learned to stay in harmony. You fight amongst yourselves for resources, for money, for your land, for your people, for your religion, and whatever idiotic or worthless things you can imagine of. Yes, it's all an imagination of your minds. None of this is real. You even fight for your gods. Who is your God anyway? Jesus? Yahweh? Allah? Shiva? My dear, you cannot be more lost. They are merely an imagination of your ancestors. Those ancestors who used to say the earth is at the center of the universe, who used to say the earth is flat, who used to say the universe is static, who used to think that the continents are unmovable. You fight for your religion, you die for your religion, you think someone supreme has created your religion and it is your God who has created the world. My children, you have no idea how this universe was created. Why are you here? What is your purpose? Is there any purpose at all? But instead of seeking answers to the questions which should matter, you create superstitious stories and then justify yourself hiding behind your gods. You just want to escape the difficult questions. That's who you are. You search for the easy way out. You just believe whatever you are being told. Why can you not be rational? Why don't you ask the right questions? Why are you so afraid of your own people? Why can you not stop for a moment and think, what is it that you're doing and why? Whether it's your species as a whole, your man-made religion, your man-made ethnicity, your man-made race, your man-made boundaries, or any imaginary classification for that matter, it's always you versus them. It's always your interest that matters. And then you say you have evolved to be the most intelligent species. I'm extremely sorry to say, but you live in an illusion. You're so blind that you cannot see the reality. You're so lost that you cannot even think clearly. You're so clouded by the thoughts, beliefs, and information transferred to you by our superstitious ancestors that you cannot even decide what really matters and what doesn't. You have lost your conscience, your soul, your identity, which you should not forget is nothing more than any other creature living at my mercy. I am the one who provides you with the air to breathe in the perfect proportion, not your God. Can you survive 5 minutes without the air? I am the one who provides you with the water to drink, not your gods. How long do you think you can survive without water? I am the one who gives you the land to set your foot upon. On this soil, you grow everything you need to survive. Your gods are just in your imagination. You are not floating in space because it is my invisible gravitational force which keeps you on ground, not your God's magic. Yet in times of tragedy, you start praying to your gods because you believe everything that is happening is because of His will. I ask you to be rational for once and ask yourself this elementary question. Who should you really worship if you cannot live without? Whom shall you really be afraid of? Whose happiness should be of real concern for you? For once, if you forget everything that this world has ever told you and ask yourself these questions, I'm sure your conscience will give you the answer. And if not, let me state it for you loud and clear. There is only one supreme power that commands your life, and that is me. I am the only one whose will decides who survives and who perishes. And if there is anyone else whom you can worship, it's the sun, the ultimate source of all forms of energy. When will you come out of this superstition is hard to say, but it is my duty to remind you who the real master is. Time and again I have been warning you, but still you don't see the repercussions of your actions. You never will because of your skewed understandings, misbeliefs and ignorance. And time and again I will unleash my forces to remind you of your position. You will overcome your crisis, but not always, because you forget what your primary concern should be. You forget where you get your life force from. Holding meetings in air-conditioned rooms and printing reports and setting goals would not act as a panacea to your issues because they are not the real issues. The real issue is you yourself. It's your attitude, your belief, your system, your classification, your greed, and your ignorance. You always try to solve the problem at hand, and that is why your civilization will perish as others have throughout the history of time. You don't learn from history, and that is why a day will come when you will also meet the same fate. Don't forget that one way or the other I will always find a way to maintain my equilibrium, and if you try and distort that, you will be wiped out from the face of this planet, and no one but your species and your species alone would be responsible for that. I will always be home to someone or the other. If you want to survive in this, change yourselves while there is still time. Save humanity, save your soul. Rest will take care of itself.